what does the word say? You know, I need to know, what does the word say? Because so that I can hear some faith. You know, see, because without it, then how do I expect to get out of my situation? And like I said, I'm not knocking Uncle Bubba and Aunt Lily, none of them. But what does the word say? Doctors give you a negative report. What does the word say? Your money, forget acting funny, man, is on a comedy tour. What does the word say? You know, family is in an uproar. What does the word, you know, what does the word say? You know, I don't need to keep saying, well, hey, you know, just knock that child out. Okay, no, what does the word say? You know, sometimes you may have to knock them out, but you know. I threw that in for free. Some of the kids like, I was with you, Reverend, for the purpose. So I need to hear what God says, because that's how faith comes. I don't need to hear a lot of hope. See, I don't need to hear, you know, I'm next in line. You know, I don't need to hear that. And that sounds good. But see, that's hope. And we know faith doesn't operate in the future. Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is. Faith does not operate in the past, and neither does it operate in the future. Faith operates in the right now because it comes out of God. It comes out of God, who is the eternal now. See, in other words, there's no time to God. So now if faith comes out of God, there's no time to faith. Faith operates right now. That's why we don't say we're going to be healed, because that puts a time on it. That's something in the future. We say we are healed. We don't say we're getting ready to get blessed. That's good, but that still puts it in the future. And that has been the problem with us. We've kept putting everything in the future. And we've been prolonging it for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, prolonging it because we've kept it in the future with a hope. But faith is not in the hope. Faith lives in the eternal now. I'm getting excited. Okay, let me finish this. So that's why it's important that you say, what have I been hearing? You know, I don't need to, I don't want to hear hope and just hold on after a while. I've been holding on. Oh, my. So now, in order for me to hear faith, I've got to hear what faith is made from, which is the word of God. Now, faith comes by hearing, hearing by the word. We're still in Romans 10. Oh, let me hurry. Look at verse 14. Now, this is a process to all of it. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? As I said, this is a formula. This is like a process. In other words, you can't believe something you've never heard. You know, sometimes that's what affects our believing system, because we've never heard it. You know, if you never hear that by the stripes of Jesus you're healed, you can't believe that. You know, if you never hear about you can be the head and not the tail, then you'll never be able to believe that. See, if you never hear that the older you get, you don't have to be broken down. See, if all you keep hearing, like most of us heard, the older we get, stuff starts just breaking down. See, and we hear that, and then that's what we expect. But then if you never hear it, you don't have to go out like that, then you can never believe it. See, one of the things we got to understand with the Word of God, the Word of God is not here to come down on our level. Word is not here to come down on man's level. We're to get up there with God. That's why this word sometimes it can sound so strong. That's why it really sounded insensitive and strong when Jesus told them disciples, what was your problem? Why are you so fearful? What happened to your faith? That sounds so insensitive when they just went through a moment when they thought they was about to die. But see, the word is not here to come down on our little kernel level. We got to get up to the word of God. See, I don't need to keep hearing about food stamps and medical cards. I need somebody to tell me about wealth and riches in my house, and that I can be debt-free, and that I can be blessed to be a blessing till all families on the earth have been blessed. I don't want Section 8. I want to own 8 sections. How about that? Yeah, glory to God. But see, you can't believe it if you don't hear it. See, I know this word sometimes it get tight and it could just seem like the pastor, he did. No. This is the word of God. God is trying to elevate you and bring you up where you're supposed to be. How you expect to be the head and you still got a poverty mentality? How you still expect to be the head and the only thing on your mind is like you some beggar? I say it all the time. We're not beggars. Doggone it. We are believers. And it's time we start acting like believers. Y'all sit. Let me wrap it up. Amen. Oh my. So I've got to hear it. I've got to hear it. Oh, Jesus. So now, I can't believe something I never heard. And then you can't ask for something if you don't believe it. See, sometimes that's the problem with someone. We call ourselves in prayer asking God for stuff we don't even believe. And that's where a lot of Christians are at. They are really in unbelief. Most Christians, when they pray, they don't believe it. I'm not saying you. You know, there are millions and millions of Christians. But most Christians, when they pray, they don't believe it. See, because they really believed it, then we'd act different. And that's where we're at. Some of us, we don't believe. And then that's where sometimes where ignorance can come in at, because then somebody will give you some religious excuse of well, you know, I prayed to God about this situation, but it didn't work out. And then somebody who's ignorant, not knowing, they'll tell you, well, you know, I guess, you know, it was the Lord's will, you know. You know, it just wasn't your season yet, just wasn't your time. Well, I always want to know that then, when is my time? You know, let a brother know. You know, if this ain't my time for this, then let me move on to something else then. Sitting up here waiting 10 years and you keep telling me this ain't my time. When is it my time? You know, really. But that gets back into that hope. And then we just hope one day, you know, and then we start pipe dreaming. That's why some folks in the world think Christians are crazy. All they just pipe dreaming. And then some of us do that. We ain't in faith, we pipe dreaming. Oh, my ship gonna come in. What ship? See, then we get caught up in all these funny things, you know. Oh, man, it's raining, money coming. I don't know if folks still do that. My hand's itching. Somebody finna put something in my hand. You know, you can solve that. It's called Vaseline lotion. You can stop the itch.